to Embracing Christianity here on God's People Say. And looks like we are definitely connected today, and we are streaming tonight. And we are going to be also recording, and hopefully, you guys all can hear me. I had a few people complaining. That's okay. We'll try to get through it all, and hopefully that everybody will get through and see how that works out. But tonight we are going to be actually diving right into a topic that I feel is important, and it's one that I always call, what is your boat? What is it? What is it that's stopping you from doing your thing? What is it that is the one thing that is stopping you from trusting in Jesus Christ? And so I'm actually putting out some links right now for people to be able to watch this. Just give me a moment, because if I don't, then let's see if anybody does watch it. So today, is like, it's actually one more day. One more day, and tomorrow is New Year's. Actually, I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow as well, and I hope that everybody does watch that one. I don't even know what I'm going to even be talking about, to be honest with you. So that's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Actually, if you hear something, forgive me. I'm actually, like I said, I'm copying links right now to send out to people. Hopefully that some people will watch this and comment on it. Give me one moment, and we'll get this thing going here. Gotta. Here she is. And never know who will watch it, who might watch it, who might not watch it, and see what happens. See. Still going. Hold on a minute. Do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. The live ones are a little bit tougher. All right. Okay, here we go. So here's the whole ball of wax. All right. So we have literally, if we think about it, everybody wants to know, what is your boat? What I mean by that is there is a story that literally goes like this. I was watching a podcast of Sadie Robinson, and she was talking about her testimony, and one part of it she was talking about with Peter and him, well, actually Simon Peter, being on the boat with his brother, and they were fishing, and Jesus got on the boat, and he told him to draw out his net. Of course, there was a little bit of hesitation on his part, where he just said, hey, we fished all night long, and but because it's you, I'll cast it out. And of course, everybody knows the story that he caught a lot of fish. And Simon struggled with his belief in Jesus for a long time, and he was a very good fisherman. He trusted himself to go out there, cast the net out. He trusted and his instinct. His net was the one thing that he was good at. The boat was, he was a fisherman. He was good at fishing. He was very good at fishing. He knew his nets. He knew everything about it. He knew how to catch those fish, but that one night he just couldn't catch anything. And so if you look at the analogy of it, it was something that caught me off guard. And what it was is people, I think, from all walks of life, no matter who they are, how they stack up, or no matter what they do, they have this way of getting around. And like, how do you put your full trust in the Lord? And believe me, I know from experience. And it was that analogy that made me think about it. It's, what am I good at? What is the one thing I could use to bring people closer to God? And so let me get back to that story. So if Simon's really good at fishing, so his boat, he could preach from his boat. He could preach, and Jesus got in that boat for a reason. He got in that boat for the reason to show Simon that he could preach from the boat. He can preach from anywhere. And that's what was the beauty of it. He could literally preach from that boat and bring people to Christ, But there was something stopping him. What was stopping him from casting out that net? It was that because he didn't put his full faith in God. He didn't put his full faith in Jesus. Jesus was the thing that he had to overcome. Jesus was the number one thing that he had to trust in. He had to put that 100% trust in Jesus. Simon struggled with that, and I myself, for years, I struggled with the same thing. It's because it's a mystery, whether you believe it or not. It's like, do you believe this guy or do you not believe this guy? And so, for me, it was like this moment when it happened to me. I was like sitting there and I was talking, like I said, everybody, I've told this story a number of times, and this is no offense towards my friend, but you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and you just want to move ahead. You want to do something. You want to do this radio show, and you want it to be what it used to be, but there's so many barriers, there's so many walls, so many things that are stopping it from happening. And the one thing that he had was time. Always time, never no time. And so if he didn't have time, how could he make time to do it? And it was only on his terms that he could make time, and I couldn't do that. And so that one particular day that we were talking about that, is I sat there and I was right at the counter where I sit, and I eat my breakfast, my dinner and stuff, and I was just listening to him talk. And right off the bat, I just listened to this testimony from Sadie that day, and all of a sudden it blew up in my face right there. I knew from that moment, I just knew that God had been listening, talking to me this whole time, all these years, that I always wondered if he was talking to me. I always had these thoughts in my head that, is God speaking to me? Is this what God's message is? Is this what he wants me to do? And the message I heard was plain and simple. He's never going to commit. He's never going to give up anything for you. He's never going to commit to the point where you guys can make this happen. He's never going to do this. Even though he helped me to get some equipment, he helped me to do some certain things, But the problem is he was never going to commit the way that God wanted him to commit, and that's what it was. Maybe I'd say it that way. Because God had a different plan for me than he had for both of us. Or maybe God had a plan for both of us, and one of us didn't want to go down that path that God wanted us to go down, and I was the one that was going to go down the plan. So I think what happened is in the way that God was speaking to me, he says, you need to take a step back. You need to take many steps back. You need to take a deep breath. And this is what I want you to do. This is the path that I want you to follow. And so I did just that. And it was really tough. And to this day, it's been a real strain. But, I predicted a lot of things that were going to happen. I predicted the things, how it was going to happen, because God speaks to you and he'll tell you exactly what you need to know. He'll tell you, he'll remove people from your life for a purpose. And I believe that was one of the reasons why he removed me from this person's life. And he removed him from my life is because there was nothing that was going to happen. There had to be commitment, and the commitment had to come from two instead of just one. And so, and in my mind, I seen a different vision, and in his mind, he's seen a different vision. In God's mind, he's seen a vision that he wanted something to happen, but it wasn't going to happen the way that God wanted it to happen. So he removed me out of that circle, took that person out of my life, made me stay away from this person because in no offense, it was a toxic at the time for me, and I needed to go through separation, and not only him, but many other people. And so what it did is it separated me outside of other people, and it's what it had to be. And so it's exactly what I did. And so over time, I was able to develop this relationship with God. And so you start to talk with him, you start to communicate with him, you start to say, okay, here I am. What do you want me to do? Here, lay it down in front of me, what you want to do. And then all I could hear is be patient, wait. The time is, it's not now. You got a long ways ahead of you. There's a lot of things that happen before we can get there. And lo and behold, I had to fix my house. I had to do other things that needed, took priority over other things. I had to do things the way that God wanted me to do it, in the order that he wanted me to do it. So that is like how it worked. And to me, working in that environment and trying to focus in that environment and trying to move in that direction, it meant that I had to go through a lot. I went through my marriage separation. I went through some health issues. I went through a loss of my father. I went through a lot of different things, and these things are happening for a reason. These things are happening in a point where, and not only that, another odd thing that's happening is the way that the way that things are being like enlined in a certain way is the odd part. It's because of the what the implications are going to be if, what is happening, the spiritual warfare that is going on. See, people think that everything's going to be cool. Everything's going to be calmed down. Oh, everything's great. Nothing's going to happen. And all these other things that are going on right now that, the whole thing is just going to be all kumbaya, and nothing's going to come down the pike. And well, I hate to be the burden of bad news, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I actually believe that we're in for a long, long road ahead. And I believe that to be true. I believe that the things that are about to happen are going to be a test on all of us. And those are one of those things that I just feel that no matter how we look at it, as we get closer and closer to, God's coming, he's coming to get us. Jesus is on his way. I mean, it's almost like he's gassing up the cars, and he's on his way to come get us. And people need to really seriously take it serious, because I don't believe that people are taken serious as they should. And it's nothing personal about it, but I just believe that more people take it serious, the better off it's going to be. And I got some questions coming in here from chat. Let me see if I can answer a few of these. I do believe it. I do believe that we're in a spiritual warfare. I do believe that we're in a war, and I believe that there's going to be war here in the United States. I don't know how it's going to happen. I like to think that there's not. But it's really scary, to be honest with you. I feel like the world is at a place right now where it's just crazy. The whole thing is just absolutely nuts. And I just feel like everything is at a point where if we can try to work together to make all this make sense, maybe. I don't know. All I know is that a lot of people are like thinking that everything's going to be cool, but personally, I don't see it that way. I want to be optimistic. I want to be like, yeah, everything's going to be good. We're going to be standing in the streets singing Kumbaya, but unfortunately, I don't believe that that's going to happen. I'd like to think it would, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. Not at all. I think we're too far gone for that, to be honest with you. And I just, oh, I messed that up, didn't I? But no, I just think that people are gonna have to work together to make all this work. Another question here. Yeah, I do resonate with Peter. I've told people this quite a few times. I do resonate with him in many different ways. because he's I just feel that the world is his. Okay, so it's like his struggle with trusting in Jesus. Not a lot of people understand that Simon struggled with Jesus a lot. Um, and when I mean a lot, he struggled with his belief. I mean, 100% trust. And I don't feel like there's anything 100% wrong with it, but I just feel like there could have been there could have been something a little bit different, to be honest with you. You know, he when he when he think about this, is he denied Jesus 3 times. And I can kind of relate to that. I mean, can you imagine being so absolutely scared out of your mind to the point where you got people who are like beating the crap out of this dude, and you are supposed to be there for Jesus, and you're scared? You don't You're supposed to be like putting your life down on the line for this guy, and you're so scared that you deny this dude. Man, that had to be tough on him, and I feel bad for him. Billy, honestly, I feel so bad for Simon. And but of course, we all know that later on in life that all changed. So we want what's best for him, obviously, but and then to think how he died excruciating pain. I mean, he for his love for Jesus, he died, you know. And here's another thing that bugs me about some people. And what bothers me is how some people they yeah, I'm still collecting data, I'm sorry. How some people literally will deny the fact when Jesus died on that cross. How they will say, yeah, you sit there and you go to them, you go, oh yeah, man, how much did he suffer? Yeah, I know he suffered a lot. Yeah, I'm very sympathetic about it. Yeah, I'm like really, but you know what? People don't. They don't put no thought into it. They don't put. You know why they don't put no thought into it? Because it didn't happen to them. And that right there makes me so mad sometimes when people do not put enough time into it and think about it. Think about how much that man suffered for us, and then and we crap all over him about it. I mean, we literally crap all over Jesus for this stuff. You know, um, it's nuts. It's absolutely positively crazy that we do this stuff. I mean, Jesus put himself in a situation where, he had died on the cross for us. Died on the cross for us. And I mean, he suffered greatly for us. A lot. And we spit in his face daily. I mean, I think about it all the time. I think about how unworthy I am to think that I have a place in heaven. I don't deserve going to heaven. I don't. And it's sad to think that. I just do. And that's what gets me back to Simon, how he must have felt. I would have cried for months. I would have cried and cried and cried if I would have let Jesus down and you know what? We do. We're no better than that. We deny him all the time. All the time we deny him. All the time. We lie, we cheat, we steal. I mean, how can we be perfect? How can we do it? How can we live a perfect Christian life? How is it even possible that we can do that? I don't even know how it's even possible, to be honest with you. But yet we spit in Jesus' face all the time. I'll never understand it. Never. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Tomorrow, I am going to be doing a show tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be doing into the New Year's. I would like to think that I'm going to do that. Uh, it'd kind of be fun. I think it'd be kind of fun if I'd get some people to join in with me. But you guys have a wonderful evening. Sleep well. And Happy New Year to all of you if I don't get to see you. And God bless. All right. Bye-bye.